Today we're going to be doing a video review of the Micro Mechanic engine light check unit here. I got this at Target for 20 bucks. You can download an app for your Apple and your Google Play for Android software, and this will wirelessly display diagnostics to your phone. So I'm going to actually hook it up to my car and see what the codes are, because I do have some codes on there. I'm pretty sure it's a check engine light. Will say the oxygen sensor is bad. First I've opened this. Let's see what it looks like. And also, after we do what it does, like checking the codes and whatnot, I'm going to see if I can actually take this apart, because in a lot of my videos, if you have ever seen them, I do work on electronics, so something like this is kind of unique for me to look at. By the way, it has a cheap plastic smell, so kind of makes it interesting. Most likely there's only 4 tabs inside there that I would have to take and poke and make it come apart. Here's the product guide. It says to save these instructions. You can download the Micro Mechanic app for best results. I will go ahead and download the app, and then once I plug it into the car, I will show you what it looks like in the app, and I'll do like a demonstration what my car has. Just reading the instructions. You can also use some of the other apps that they have listed. So you stick it in the port and you power your vehicle on. I don't think you have to turn your car on completely, but you just turn your key over. And once you pair it to your Bluetooth, you should be able to connect a device option to begin and follow instructions. So once I get this plugged into the car, I will get right into that. Actually, it sounds like they want you to turn the car on completely, not just to turn the key on. Keep a fire extinguisher suitable for gasoline nearby. Well, if your car completely combusts, if you're concerned about that, probably shouldn't be using this device anyway. So, anyway, we're going to download the app, and we're going to go outside and do the demonstration of the Micro Mechanic. Now, under the steering wheel, by your gas and brake pedal, should be under here the scanner. And mine is right there. And it's kind of idiot proof. It's got that little notch there, so you can always stick it in there in the same way. Now we're plugged in. Now once you launch the app and you put your name and your email address in, you can tell it to start the scan. And it'll actually scan the car while the car is running. I actually had to tell it to rescan because I did not have the car running at this point. So now it's rescanning, and you'll see that I have some emission leaks. We're here in the state of Illinois. I don't have to worry about the muffler and all that jazz. And I'll scroll down, I'll show you all the codes that is popped up, and you'll see that it has a lot of emission controls. And that's what it shows you. And it kind of gives you an estimate of how much the repair cost is going to be if you take it to a mechanic. If you're mechanically inclined and can repair the stuff yourself. You don't really care about the repair costs, but it's just kind of a thing that they can tell you what it's doing and what it's not doing. So I'll go down through the list in each one and kind of see what it would show the same, and it did. In the next clip here, you'll hear the car running actually. Yes, I do have an emission leak. The exhaust is actually, the exhaust pipe is off of the manifold by the engine, and the other error code there would be the oxygen sensor, which I knew that's been out for a while. So you can see that the check engine lights on the car is actually running. It is different from the other scanners that I've used in the past. I'm going to tell it to clear and see what happens if it actually clears it. I know it's going to just come back up after I turn the car back on. One thing I did notice, it didn't show anything about the low tire pressures, which I have had 2 tires that doesn't have the pressure sensor in them, so that's why it's always going to show that. So let's see if it takes those codes off. So once the app is launched again, you do another scan and you'll see your error codes again. So I scroll down to the bottom and I tell it to reset the engine code, and it brings me back to the start scan menu, and I do the process a second time to see if it would actually do anything, and it just brings me right back to the main menu. And it did not take those codes off, which is fine. I don't really care about that. Just take it apart, see what's inside of it. And I'll see if we can take this apart. Since it was only 20 bucks, I kind of want to look inside and see what the electronics is. It's always something to learn about electronics, so that's why we have this channel. I think I might just be able to take and might be able to squeeze that. Not sure how we're going to get this apart. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so we're slowly getting into it. Got the bottom off. Working on the top. And there we have it. So here's the great reveal. Here's what 20 bucks looks like. Plus the app that's limited, since you don't have a professional version. This is really amazing, folks. I'm looking at these plastic tabs. Okay, that makes sense now. That's what I was pushing down on to get into. If you were to get into this and you do what I just did, you can always just take and run super glue, or do what any other tech would do. Once this is reseated back together, just put a little type of electrical tape, black electrical tape, and that'll work just fine. It has a diode, D2, which, okay, this diode here, D2 is an LED. You cannot see, that thing is solid, so you can't see this LED. So what purpose that is for end user, it's completely none. I'm going to try to make it so I can see it and you can see it at the same time here. Here's a microcontroller chip that's been scratched off, which I don't want you to see what that is. Just over here will be the Bluetooth side. That's a little antenna for your Bluetooth. So they're just converting it down. It's probably just a voltage regulator here to convert it down to 5 volts or 3.3 volts. Lovely soldering job. And I didn't mean that in a good way. It's a good soldering job. Usually when there's stuff like this, it's mass produced, that's in China, is not a good soldering deal because they're very sloppy. So yeah, this is a 7805, so that is the 5-volt regulator right there. So they're using 12 volts to come in, power to 5 volt, and that powers the rest of your circuit. So this LED here is just for their own use. There's another LED over here as well. Which, you know, if they left that for the home user or end user, you'd be able to see that. It would be kind of cool to see that it's actually communicating. Now I'm going to take and see if I can read the numbers that they scratched off. And that will be off camera. They did a pretty fabulous job of doing that. I don't know how exactly they did that. But it's pretty uniform. It's, I would have to say that they did a laser engraving on that. It is the pound sign that looks like a pound sign. Multiple pound signs. So they laser engraved that off, so you won't be able to read that. Rather interesting. Let's see if I can zoom in. I don't know if you can see the pound sign, but that's been laser engraved off. So they so you can't reverse engineer this. I mean, it's 20 bucks. I don't know who or why or anybody that would want to take and reverse engineer something that costs $20. I mean, it costs 20 bucks, guys. So, that's what the circuit looks like. I always think it's pretty neat to open it up and see what the inside is like. See what the quality is. It's different. There you have it. Now you've seen what the app looks like. You've seen what the device looks like. It actually snaps back together. And for 20 bucks, you can read your error codes from your phone at any time. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. I will see you next time. If you have any other product that you would like to watch me do a review and tear down, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you next time.